And so, Mr. O'Leary, here's the pitch. Imagine that it's 1975. Two brothers, a 19-year-old and his 17-year-old little brother, a couple of their friends, have the bright idea to start a new business. All right, they want to use the newly invented microprocessor to control theater stage lighting. Never been done before. But they have a problem. To build their prototype, they need $500 from their parents. So my question is, do you give them the $500? And if so, what do you predict for the future of their business?
You know, I love that question because my son just pitched me for a lot more than that on his deal.
Well, this was $500 in 1975, which was real money back then.
That's a lot of, you know, I think I would have done that. I would have lent it because the outcome is unknown. But there is a wonderful thing that happens when a young person takes on the responsibility of another person's money. It creates a fantastic platform by which they understand they serve someone in perpetuity.
Yeah, well, so I was that older brother. And
what happened?
What happened is the company, it's 51 years ago now, and that company, it's about $450 million a year, 1,600
Well, I
employees.
rest my case, Your Honor.
It manufactures in the Midwest, all right? And as of the beginning of last year, it has just completed the ESOP transition. So that company that we started with $500 51 years ago is now 100% owned by the 1,600 employees who built the company.
Well, you deserve the American Dream Award for that.
Yeah, well, I am, I guess, proud of it. And I had my partners buy me out when I entered Congress because I did not want to be casting votes that affected my net worth, which may sound sort of quaint these days, but anyway, that's what I did. Anyway, both sides here have emphasized the role of local community banks in housing and in business growth. And now during the government shutdown last October, the Federal Reserve had two really excellent conferences, one on community banking, the other one on the future of payments. And since we had decided to cancel hearings, I attended both full-day conferences. And what we heard uniformly from all the community bankers who showed up was that their number one concern was that what they viewed as the mortal threat from interest-bearing stablecoins, either by directly paying interest or indirectly through various payments from the crypto exchanges that was allowed by the Genius Act. They had a fear that interest-bearing stablecoins would just drain the deposits from small community banks and take away one of the only sources of capital that small communities have, rural communities are. And so I was wondering, with this whole panel here, where would you land on that? I mean, we have a decision to make. Should we side with the community banks on this, or should we side with the?
I'd love to opine on that for a short period.
Sure.
The opportunities for the community banks and all money center banks included to allow small businesses to open a stablecoin account beside their fiat currency account. There's absolutely no reason they can't do that. If I were a small community bank, I would try and keep competition at bay. But you can't. We've passed the law. It's legal tender. A stablecoin backed by 92 days less duration of a treasury bill is now a legal tender for anybody that wants it. The banks are holding back by not allowing accounts to show up, and every one of my companies is using these now to settle payments or take in payments, and it's a huge inconvenience. You're forcing them to open accounts at Robinhood and Coinbase when they just rather work with their regional bank if they could. I'm not against Robinhood or Coinbase. They're innovators. But small business doing $5 million in sales, they can avoid 2.5% on a credit card payment by using a stablecoin. Let them do it.
Yeah, well, I think the competition there, frankly, it's India. If you're in India and you want to give a pauper 3 rupees, you both get out your cell phones, authenticate to your bank accounts, transfer 3 rupees, 0 fees. And it has nothing to do with blockchain or anything else. Now, I guess we've also hit on this issue of financing receivables, and there's the current issue there is a lot of the first brand fraud and similar things with double pledging of collateral is a huge problem. Those of you who follow money stuff, this very amusing blog has written a lot about that. Now, the DTCC is doing a very interesting prototype that uses blockchain and tokenization to prevent double pledging of receivables and other assets. I was wondering if you can, would that actually be a significant positive use of blockchain here?
Yeah, I think people should stop thinking about blockchain as crypto. It's really just software. It's contract management. That's what it is, and I think it's been misnamed In fact, if you take out the speculation of Bitcoin and all the other coins and forget about that for a second, blockchain technology
Gentleman's
is good
time has expired.